But it's men. I mean, I think the real struggle for the Harris campaign is young men, older men, men of color, white men.
So, does the Harris campaign need to focus their efforts on men? Well, joining me now to discuss, Seth Weathers, the CEO of Conservative Dad's Ultra Right Beer, and Chrissy Clark, a Newsmax contributor. Seth, I'll start with you. I mean, look, man, I mean, the hallmark of a presidential campaign used to be, who do you want to sit down and have a beer with? The Kamala Harris campaign, they used to tell us about white dudes for Kamala, black men for Kamala, queer eye for the straight guy for Kamala. And now it appears that all of the actual coalition building has left most of the men behind.
Well, if you notice, it's not white men for Kamala. It's more like white boys for Kamala, I think. And I think that that's the struggle that they're going to have, because they're pushing the entire campaign from Kamala's perspective. There's a war. This is going to sound overused. There's a war on masculinity in this country right now. And the Kamala campaign at this point is the tip of that spear. And so I think you're going to have a hard time getting people to buy into that. Like, it's like the self-emasculating move. I just don't think a lot of people want to go there.
Right. Chrissy, I want to talk to you specifically about California. Now, that state, Gavin Newsom has signed a series of reparation bills, including a formal apology for slavery. The letter says, quote, "The state of California apologizes for perpetuating the harms African Americans face by having imbued racial prejudice through segregation, public and private discrimination, and unequal dispersal of state and federal funding, and declares that such actions shall not be repeated." Now, I bring this up because California entered the Union as a free state in 1850. I also bring it up because I have no problem with America saying we've done wrong and we're going to do better. I think that's probably a healthy thing. The problem is a Democratic Party that keeps weaponizing the wounds of yesterday for black people to make it feel like they're on your side. But the committee they put together for reparations said that black people were owed around $800 billion, give or take, and they decided they were going to set aside $12 million. It appears once again the Democrats love to talk about how black people have been marginalized, but they never actually show up to do any of the things they promised they're going to do for black people.
I think you hit the nail on the head when you said there's no problem with admitting that America has done things wrong in the past. The problem is perpetuating a stereotype that white people need to constantly be apologetic for something that happened well before this. Because of my skin color, I'm supposed to take issue with or say I'm so sorry for what happened in America in the early 1600s and 1700s and 1800s, even though I'm Canadian and this was not my heritage or my problem in a sense. And so I don't understand this idea that we need to continue to tell people that because of your skin color, you need to say you're sorry to other people. It's a bad precedent to set.
You know, moving ahead here, Seth, of course, all of these leftist policies, they all lead to one place, this crime and disruption. Target, they've decided to revise their lenient return policies here to address the ongoing abuse by customers. And so now they can refuse returns if they suspect deception, which is pretty interesting because up until now, particularly in places like California and New York, you can steal up to $1,000 worth of materials or $950 worth of materials, and they're completely fine with you walking out the door. But heaven forbid if you're just the person who brought the wrong toothpaste and want to bring it back, that could be a problem.
Well, my suspicion it has something to do with the crime that we've seen in some of these cities where people are coming in and stealing a bunch of stuff. But I do have to wonder, do you know anything about women and the buying dresses and wearing them and taking them back? It's an unbelievable situation in this country. I see it happen all the time. I want to ask Chrissy about it if she'll enlighten us on that. But it's unbelievable. So it could be the women or it could be the epidemic of crime. I don't know. Maybe it's a combination of both.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've heard about this leave the tag on strategy for high fashion. But Chrissy, are people walking into Target to leave the tag on the sundress to go out for a night of square dancing? What's going on, Chrissy?
I can't say I've ever done it at Target. I can't say I haven't done that, but definitely not at Target. A $20 dress is not going to break the bank.
Don't incriminate yourself. Don't incriminate yourself.
I'm so sorry.
Seth, Chrissy, have a wonderful weekend. God bless.